Yeah, we're seeing the fog really getting worse as the morning goes on. You tend to see it almost peak around daybreak, and that's what we're seeing now. In fact, as we open up the walls here of our next weather sphere, looking a little bit different than it did just a couple of hours ago. Before the sun came up, you could see all the buildings, all the lights on the buildings, everything was nice and clear. Now we're seeing a lot of that locally dense fog, even in the city of Philadelphia. It has been most dense over South Jersey this morning, and that's where we find our dense fog advisory. But the National Weather Service is monitoring that to see if it needs to be expanded a little bit further to the west to include Philadelphia, to include Chester County. Currently it doesn't. These are the areas under a dense fog advisory. All of Delaware, all of south and central New Jersey, and it does include Bucks County in southeastern Pennsylvania. That's the only southeastern Pennsylvania county included in this dense fog advisory. And you can see why that is. Where you're seeing the worst of the fog is where visibilities are down below a mile. So down to a third of a mile in Millville and Trenton, Atlantic City at the airport, down to a half mile. We've seen a lot of dense fog here over Ocean County, and it's just starting to creep in here around the city, almost kind of enveloping the city. We're seeing some dense fog in Chester County as well. Wouldn't be surprised if that's added to that dense fog advisory with visibilities, even in Wilmington, Delaware, down around a third of a mile. Right now in Philadelphia, this is Society Hill. You can see looking just a little bit of that milky sky. Clouds and fog this morning. Right now it is 64, but look at that dew point. Dew points are higher, so it's cool, but it feels a little stickier this morning. We will start to see the fog mix out in the afternoon, looking bright and sunny once again with highs in the low 80s. Coming up, I'll tell you whether this nice sunshine lasts into the weekend. For now, let's send it over to Kim Hudson, who's in for Chandler. We're not really seeing in some spots much of the sky, much of the atmosphere this morning because we are shrouded in some locally dense fog, especially over South Jersey and Delaware. We have a light flow coming in from the Atlantic Ocean that's bringing moisture and bringing some fog. In Philadelphia, it is starting to fog up just a little bit more than it has been so far this morning. Now the sun's about to come up and temperatures dropping to their morning lows close to the dew points. You can see now the buildings just looking a little murky out there as we look live at the center city skyline. And as we take a look at South Jersey, I want to pull up one of our traffic cameras. I know Kim has been showing us these cameras all morning, but this is Route 42 in New Jersey, and you can see just how foggy it is looking. Everyone's got the headlights on. Make sure you leave plenty of space between yourself and the car traveling in front of you because fog is blanketing, especially South Jersey. Again, thanks to that flow off the ocean, moisture-rich air in place, and again, we've got temperatures cooling down to the dew points, or at least close. So we're looking at visibilities down below a mile in Atlantic City, Trenton, Millville, Dover, and now seeing some of that fog in Chester and Delaware counties. And the National Weather Service says they're monitoring whether we need to expand this dense fog advisory further inland. As of now, it doesn't include the immediate shore points. You can see Delaware Beach is not included, but all of Delaware, interior South Jersey, and Bucks County all in that dense fog advisory. And that goes until 10 o'clock this morning. So fog will be with us for the whole morning commute and as the school buses also get out on the roads this morning. Even with the fog outside, though, it's still feeling nice and crisp and cool. We've got, again, visibilities near zero in spots like Toms River and in Pemberton this morning. But as far as temperatures are concerned, it's really not feeling all that bad. We've got temperatures outside generally in the 50s and some 60s. We're at 64 in the city right now, 56 in Coatesville, and it's 60 degrees down in Wilmington. So let's talk about what to expect moving forward through the end of the week. After the fog and low clouds this morning start to mix out, it's going to be another sunny, warm day with highs back in the low to mid 80s. We got to 84 yesterday. Today is very similar. High pressure still in control for us. So here's Francine, now a tropical storm moving inland, but this system is really going to fizzle and kind of almost split into two sections here. So you can see sunshine sticks with us, maybe a few of those high cloud bands creeping in tomorrow, but otherwise Francine is not going to be an issue for us. It really just falls apart as we get into the weekend. And for us, that means a sunny, warm, dry weekend, and it looks like that nice dry stretch will continue into the first part of next week for the Eagles on Monday. Just a quick look at your next weather 7-day forecast. We'll pull it up for you here, and you can see it is going to change a little bit by the middle of next week. After a sunny, warm, summer-like weekend, we've got our next chance for showers by Wednesday of next week with highs back in the 70s. Kim, I'll send it over to you.
All right, Kate, thank you.